Hello, my name is Robert Yarroll, and this is a story about Herbie. I've always enjoyed comedy movies and remember as a child laughing throughout a 1958 Jerry Lewis movie called The Geisha Boy that featured a very tall, strong and tough male villain chasing Jerry Lewis all over the place in a miniature car. The image of such a big man driving that ridiculously small car has been etched into my memory ever since. My topic today is Herbie, a small part of motoring history, but a big part of my life. That's the title of the book currently on the screen. Which I put together in recognition of those who helped me with the restoration of a wonderful little British car. A 1932 Austin 7 RP Box Saloon, the type of little car that I fell in love with all those years ago. I set out to buy an Austin 7 and discovered an exact model I wanted was about to be auctioned in New Zealand. Without time to inspect the car, I took a punt and bought it prior to auction and had it shipped to me in Australia. The car was wearing local number plate 1932A7, but this plate had to be surrendered to local authorities before it could leave New Zealand. So, after a short voyage across the ocean, it finally arrived at my home on a flatbed tow truck. I took one look at the little chap and immediately gave him the name Herbie, named after his maker, Lord Herbert Austin. I drove him up and down my street a few times that first day. Then I gave him a thorough bath. And with the help of a car jack and $2, I then tucked him away in my garage, behind another car. Herbie was in surprisingly good condition for his age. A smart two-door, four-seater saloon with navy blue body and black roof and mudguards. A four-cylinder engine of 747cc capacity mated to a four-speed gearbox having synchro on second, third and fourth gears, with an electric single windscreen wiper and wind-up front windows, and very importantly, drum brakes on all four wheels. Little Herbie was quite advanced for his time. Like some other vintage car enthusiasts, although I was very enthusiastic, I knew almost nothing about the workings of a motor car, let alone an old one. So where do I start? I joined a vintage car club to gain access to advice and spare parts. But being so eager to get started, I had to do something within my capabilities straight away. So I started on the wheels. I scraped and filled until the narrow 19-inch spoked wheels were smooth, and then off they went to be powder coated. While away, I bought some tiny hubcaps and polished them to a mirror finish. The wheels were returned all bright and shiny and fitted with new tubes and tyres. My first job was completed and I was happy. So what's next then, I thought. How about the interior? The kitchen table came in handy for some upholstery work, and the bucket seats came up good. But the carpet was looking shabby. So, off to the motor trimmer to have a custom fiberglass console made to surround the gear stick and brake lever, and to have new carpet installed. Wow, Herbie is looking good. However, when I looked out of my windscreen, I wanted a mirror shine on the bonnet. So, off came the bonnet parts, and I applied some paint stripper and prepared the metal parts for painting. The bonnet came up a treat, and I was happy again. Then I noticed the spare wheel rattled where it was attached to the back of the car. So, some metal fabrication and repainting of a new wheel holder remedied that problem. And all was good again. I also added white walls to my tyres, and don't they look great? I wondered what the engine would be like if it was fully rebuilt and detailed. Well, this is where my friends at the car club helped. The plan was to remove every nut and bolt. Every component was to be removed and either repaired or replaced. Once we had good access to the engine bay, then the heavy lifting could start. And there we have it, an enormous 747cc engine removed from the car. And that's the first time in a long time that little Herbie has been so light on the front end. There were some rivets that needed to be drilled out and in due course replaced. Many fiddly tasks were a two-man job. And now the little pistons, 4 of them, were fully exposed. And these are the valve springs. Although I drained the oil before we disassembled the engine, there is still ample left in it to dribble all over the floor. My sister Faye was very hands-on and assisted me throughout this project. And I see some work to be done here too. I think a new head gasket will be required. Isn't it wonderful? All these components have been removed from Herbie, and now all I've got to do is work out where they go back to. The sandblasting machine worked overtime and did a wonderful job. Some engine parts, such as this one, was ceramic coated. It will stay like this forever. Before the engine was reinstalled into Herbie, we wanted to make the engine bay look pretty, so we masked off the body. Then we gave the engine bay a first coat of paint, and then a final coat of gloss black. Now, with new pistons, new hardened valves, new stainless steel exhaust pipe, just about everything new or restored, I now had an engine that could run on unleaded petrol. Little Herbie was now looking and running better than when he left the factory in 1932. He was prim and proper, and we needed a car trailer for him if we were to travel to events and outings any great distance from home. So, being a cheapskate, I decided to buy a foldable car trailer kit and assemble it myself. However, once I put Herbie on board, I decided it was too flimsy, and that a professionally built bespoke car trailer would be the only way to get the little car around safely and in one piece, including a planned trip to Adelaide, South Australia. As any car club member will tell you, it's the events and friendships that make it all worthwhile. My sister Faye and I went all over the place in Little Herbie and won numerous awards, like Car of the Year at the Burwood Festival. During the centenary of Canberra Rally in 2013, I celebrated my 59th birthday and was awarded this special number plate on the occasion. Herbie was great fun. The restoration of Herbie was never about winning awards, but it was gratifying when we did so well. And none of this could have happened without the assistance of my dear sister, Faye. I have recently sold Herbie, and he now lives with another Austin 7 in a friend's garage at Northbridge, Sydney. I think Herbie deserves a letter from the reigning British monarch in 12 years' time to celebrate his 100th birthday. I hope you have enjoyed this story. I'm happy to answer any questions at the conclusion of this presentation. Thank you.